He wipes the blood on the couch. That's the detail most people missed. Homelander doesn't flee. He doesn't panic. He smears the President of the United States' blood on the Oval Office couch, and then he smiles. Not the smile of a man who just made a calculated decision, the smile of a child who broke something and doesn't understand why it matters. Here's the paradox. In killing President Calhoun, Homelander believed he finally secured total control of America. He eliminated the one person who could publicly resist him. He handed all executive power to Ashley, a loyal soupe, his VP, his soldier. Except he didn't secure control. He handed it to the one person in his entire orbit who has been quietly cracking for years. Today we're breaking down exactly why that single act may have just sealed his fate. To understand why this matters, you need to understand Ashley Barrett's full arc. Not the PR version, the real one. Ashley started as Madeline Stillwell's assistant, a woman who understood power by watching someone else wield it. When Stillwell died, when Homelander killed her in Season 2, Ashley stepped into the vacuum, not out of ambition, out of survival instinct. She watched Homelander murder A-Train in the Season 5 premiere. She stood in rooms where people she knew were killed. She absorbed every atrocity, smiled for the cameras, and filed the reports. She did this because she convinced herself there was no other option. Then, in Season 4, Homelander put her on the kill list. He wanted her dead. Ashley's response? She injected herself with Compound V. She didn't fight back. She mutated herself, changed her own body just to stay useful to the man who wanted her eliminated. The Compound V gave her something neither she nor the show expected. Not laser eyes, not super strength. She grew a second face on the back of her head, a literal physical manifestation of her divided self. The show confirmed in Season 5, Episode 2 that this back Ashley functions as her conscience, the part of her that still knows right from wrong, that still remembers who she was before Vought. By Episode 7, back Ashley has been pushing harder, telling her to act, telling her this is the moment. Ashley keeps refusing. The show has spent 5 seasons building one question about this character. When does the survivor finally decide that surviving at any cost isn't worth it anymore? Episode 7 may have just given her the answer. Episode 7 opens in the Oval Office. Homelander has his feet on the president's desk. Calhoun walks in nervous, compliant, a man who has been president in name only since Season 5 began. Homelander lays out his demands. Congress dissolved. The Democratic Church of America declared the official national religion, breastfeeding mandatory, nut milk banned. He isn't asking. He never asks. Calhoun hesitates. That hesitation costs him everything. Homelander turns to Ashley. He orders her to remove her wig to expose back Ashley, the telepathic second face, and read the president's mind. Ashley complies. Back Ashley reads Calhoun's thoughts and delivers the verdict. The president does not believe Homelander is God. He is scared. He thinks Homelander is psychotic. Homelander squashes his skull, wipes the blood on the couch, walks out smiling. Ashley is now President of the United States. In the aftermath, back Ashley tells her, this is the moment. They have the power now. They are the president. They can act. Ashley refuses. She is still afraid. Back Ashley, her conscience, her other half tells Ashley they are no longer allies and goes silent. Meanwhile, the rest of the episode spirals toward its own darkness. Frenchie dies protecting Kimiko. Soldier Boy gets locked back in his cryo chamber after telling Homelander he is not a god. The deep loses the ocean. The boys plan to recreate Soldier Boy's depowering blast through uranium radiation. Their last remaining strategy is in progress but untested. By the time the credits roll, Homelander is more powerful than he has ever been. Every plan against him has been neutralized or destroyed. He looks, from the outside, completely untouchable. That's the surface reading. Here's what's actually happening underneath it. Pause here. Look at what Homelander actually did. He didn't just kill the president, he handed executive power to a soupe whose conscience has been fighting her for the entire season. He removed back Ashley's last reason for restraint. He forced a split and then he left, assuming Ashley's fear would keep her loyal. What if he just miscalculated the one person he forgot to fear? Call this Theory 1, the conscience coup. The theory is this. Ashley Barrett doesn't betray Homelander in a dramatic act of heroism. She does it quietly, bureaucratically, the way she's always operated, through paperwork, access, and institutional leverage. Here's the evidence. The show confirmed in episode 2 that Ashley's mind-reading power doesn't work on Sister Sage. Sage is the smartest person alive. And in episode 7, Sage has already defected to Butcher's side. Two characters who have operated on opposite ends of the board, Ashley inside the machine, Sage dismantling it, are now pointed at the same problem. Ashley is the President of the United States. She controls the chain of command. She controls what information reaches the public. Homelander has laser eyes and near immortality, but he cannot be everywhere at once. He still needs the institutional apparatus that Ashley represents. If Ashley chooses to use that apparatus against him, even partially, even covertly, the damage she can do is enormous. She can open doors, she can lower defenses, she can let the right people into the right rooms. The weakness of this theory is timing. The finale is one episode. There isn't much runway left for a slow-burn bureaucratic betrayal. But Back Ashley went silent at the end of episode 7. Sometimes the most dangerous conscience is the one that stops arguing because it's already decided. Call this Theory 2, the pattern of the loyal servant. The show has done this before, twice, and both times the loyal servant was the last person Homelander expected to become a problem. First, A-Train. A-Train spent 3 seasons absorbing Homelander's abuse, running his errands, humiliating himself for survival. Then, in Season 3, he leaked information that helped bring Soldier Boy back into play, a decision that contributed directly to the chaos. Homelander is still managing now. Homelander killed him for it in the Season 5 premiere. The betrayal still cost Homelander something. Second, Firecracker. She devoted herself completely. She gave up her faith, her identity, her independent judgment. She worshipped him. And in episode 5, the moment Homelander sensed the smallest shadow of doubt, he crushed her skull on an eagle statue. The pattern is clear. Homelander's regime eats its servants. The more devoted they are, the more catastrophically they collapse when the devotion breaks. Ashley has been inside that machine longer than anyone still alive. She watched Stillwell die, she watched A-Train die, she watched Firecracker die. She has been watching the pattern repeat for 5 seasons. Back Ashley, her literal conscience, has been telling her the same thing for weeks. And in episode 7, after Calhoun's murder, Back Ashley stopped talking. Not because she gave up. The show confirmed she withdrew as an ally, which means she has separated herself from Ashley's fear. The servant's loyalty just ran out. Call this Theory 3. The God needs a witness. This is the one that reframes everything. Here's what almost no one is talking about. Homelander has a specific, documented psychological need. The show has built it across 5 seasons. He cannot tolerate being unseen. He requires witnesses to his divinity. He doesn't just want power, he wants adoration. He wants to be believed in. Showrunner Eric Kripke said it directly in April 2026. Homelander is weak and thin, skinned and ultimately driven by ego, despite how much he fronts as a hero. The V1 serum didn't change his psychology, it magnified it. Now look at what he built around himself in episode 7, the Democratic Church of America. The amusement park called Homeland. Mount Rushmore with his own face. He surrounded himself with worshippers, and then he began killing the ones who didn't believe enough. But Ashley is now the president, the most visible, most powerful institutional witness to Homelander's godhood. And her second face, the part of her that reads minds, that knows truth from performance, just went silent. Here's the theory. Ashley doesn't fight Homelander. She stops performing belief for him. She simply stops being the witness he needs. For a man whose entire power structure runs on the public believing he is God, having the President of the United States visibly doubt him on camera in front of the nation may be the weapon that no virus, and no super ability could replicate. Homelander killed the non-believer. He put a non-believer in his place. These three theories don't cancel each other out. They stack. Ashley uses her institutional access to open doors. That's theory 1. Her arc follows the same pattern as every loyal servant Homelander has destroyed. That's theory 2. And the method she uses isn't violence. It's withdrawing her performance of belief in public, in front of the country. Homelander claims to rule. That's theory 3. Taken together, the picture is this. Homelander's greatest enemy in the finale may not be Butcher. It may not be Ryan. It may be the woman he put in the Oval Office, who has been quietly watching him commit atrocities for 5 years, whose conscience just stopped arguing with her and started planning instead. He needed a true believer in the president's chair. He installed a witness who stopped believing. 3 specific things to watch in the finale. First, Ashley's public behavior. If she appears in any press capacity, any televised statement, any address to the nation, watch the body language. The show has always used Ashley's on-camera performance as a signal for where her loyalty actually sits. Back Ashley is gone. What replaces her is the real Ashley, unfiltered, with no internal moderator. Second, Sister Sage's coordination. Sage defected to Butcher's side in episode 7. Sage is the smartest person alive. If anyone has thought 3 moves ahead about how to use a suddenly unconstrained President of the United States, it is Sage. The show set up their connection as early as Season 5, Episode 5, when Sage offered Ashley sanctuary in her underground bunker. Third, the White House as a location. The boys' comic books ended with a final showdown outside the White House. The show has been steering toward that image. If the finale goes there, Ashley as president controls who gets in and who gets stopped at the gate. She was always in every room. Now she controls the rooms. Here's the question I want you to answer in the comments. Do you think Ashley betrays Homelander in the finale, or does her fear win out one last time? The finale drops May 20th on Prime Video. We will be breaking it down the same day, so subscribe now if you don't want to miss it. The algorithm buries channels like this one unless viewers actively engage. If this breakdown made you think differently about Episode 7, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this video reach other fans who are asking the same questions. See you on May 20th.